Hey my little sunshines, what up? It's your girl Brooke here. And today is Vlogmas day 7? Yeah. And I had something else planned for today, but I changed my mind. Kind of a last minute mind changer. But what I'm about to do is something called the Stripped Down Challenge, which is where you're supposed to set a timer on your phone for 10 minutes and you talk about anything and everything. There's supposed to be no fancy cuts or edits. I've seen it was inspired also, just so you're aware, I seen that it was inspired by Jonah Green. But I've seen a few of these videos where they've done cuts, and I don't know, personally, I don't believe that that's fully participated in the challenge, and I've seen people that have had videos that were shorter than 10 minutes. Most of the videos were over 10 minutes, but, you know, I believe that you should just do the video, no cuts or anything. So we're going to try this. Let me grab my phone here. Where's my timer? Timer. Bloop, 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 bloop. Alright, the timer has been officially set for 10 minutes. So basically what Jonah Green had seen was that somebody had sent him a message somewhere saying that all social media was fake. And that kind of, I don't necessarily believe it, but I also don't unbelieve it. I don't believe that everyone is fake on social media. I do believe that some people can appear to be that way. But I think we are all ourselves, just sometimes we are an exaggerated version of who we are. You wonder if my reactions are real. Well, yeah, but I make it bigger and more known that it's my reaction to something. Or I do something silly and instead of a ha ha ha, you know, like, we do things that are still us. They're just a more exaggerated form of us. Now some people really are fake on the internet. I'm not going to act like there isn't fake people on the internet. But how am I to know if they're truly being fake or if they're just an exaggerated version of who they are? I don't know that. This really wasn't what I intended to talk about, so that's interesting. Anyways, thanks, brain. You know, a lot of these videos, people talked about their insecurities. I guess I can touch on that for a moment. A couple things that I'm very insecure about is my face. My forehead in particularly is, I have very dry skin on my forehead and like the ridge of my nose here. And I get it around the edges of my nostrils. Why? Couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you if you begged me to. It may look okay right now. I don't know. I haven't looked at my face in a while because when I do, I'm like, you need to do something about it. So I don't try to look at myself too much. But, every day or most days, unless I just know I'm going to be at home, I put on, some moisturizing cream that I put on my forehead and the ridge of my nose there and on my face, only so my skin doesn't look like it's flaky everywhere. Does that mean I'm being fake? No, that's just me doing what I normally do. So yeah, that's one of my little faults, insecurities, whatever you want to call them. Another problem of mine is I don't wear plain colored tops, like, ever. And if I do, they have to be the baby doll ones. Because when I wear a plain colored top, I was told once when I was wearing a dress that was plain colored that you could see my belly button. And the lady who told me that, it disturbed her. And that really freaked me out. So now I'm very self-conscious about when I'm wearing a shirt, if you can see my belly button through it. It's always been a problem of mine. So I went through this period where I started wearing a lot of darker clothing. Because when I was in darker clothes, you couldn't see my belly button. Or I would buy things that had designs on them because it covered it up. And I went through this phase where I would no longer wear anything that was plain colored. And if I was, I had to have a scarf on. And the scarf had to be long enough. And blah, blah, flippin' blah. So that's another insecurity of mine. Another thing of mine is I talk a lot. And I talk very loudly. And these are things that sometimes disturb or bother other people. And it can become to a point where people will assume, because I like to talk a lot and I like to talk loudly, that I am annoying. Well, I'm not necessarily annoying. I'm just very talkative. It's something that I can't control. I like to talk. So, yep, that's something that bothers me most days. I'm also a very messy person. This isn't something that necessarily bothers me, but it bothers others. And as I've gotten older, I've tried to not be as messy. But I can't help that that's who I am. Like, this is truly the real me. The other thing that bothers me that people say is, well, you're just obsessed with that. Well, you're just way too far into that. You need to take a step back. You don't know what you're doing, blah, 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 blah. I'm very passionate, okay? I am a very strong, very passionate person. And when I am this way, if I find something that I like, I become very passionate about it. I don't ever let it consume my life. I have a life outside of whatever's going on, but I am very consumed with it at the time that it is happening. That can be anything from a TV show, to an actor, to a singer, to a band, to a movie, to a book. It can literally be anything. And if I become passionate about it, then I want to talk about it. And I want to talk about it a lot. And I want to give my thoughts and my opinions and my beliefs on it. And I've always been this way. It's just a thing I do. I get very, okay. I guess what it is that I'm overly caring. I care way too much. And so because I care so much, I become passionate about the things I care about. So then I begin to speak about them all the time. And if something funny happens, I want to talk about it. I want to tell others about it. I want to know every little detail that I can about whatever it is that I'm being passionate about at the time. Like I said, that can be from a person to a book. It can literally be a span of anything. But that's who I am. And I get very passionate about it. YouTube is another venue of mine that I am very passionate about. YouTubers have really helped me in my life. That's the whole reason I started YouTube, was because Connor Franta and O2L were what encouraged me, along with my friend Carlene, to start this YouTube channel. And I have realized that I'm very creative through this YouTube channel. No, not as creative as I probably could be, but I don't have technology to be like that. So, I deal with what I have. But I enjoy it. I love it. And so when people make assumptions and assume that I am, quote unquote, addicted to the internet, nothing in the world pisses me off more than hearing someone say, oh, but you're addicted to the internet. Well, is that a bad thing? I love the internet. There's a good side to the internet, and there's a bad side to the internet. I choose to stay on the good side of the internet. I don't like to go to the bad stuff. But the internet can be used for good. That's how I met my best friends, was through the freaking internet. I just went and visited them back in October. Because I met them through the internet, through a site called Tumblr. had I never joined Tumblr, because Tamala have never suggested for me to join Tumblr, then I would have never met Kelsey and Fleener and Carlene and Allison and Jacqueline and Alyssa and Shona and little Kelsey and oh my god, Jackie and Kim and I don't know. I'm sure I didn't name somebody. If I didn't name you, don't be butthurt. But, you know, I'm just naming off from the top of my head right now. Fleener, she's somebody else. Did I mention her already? Ooh, I can't remember. Jesse, like, all these people. And we've had ups, we've had downs, but I met them because of Tumblr. So the internet's not always bad. It can also be a good tool, and it can be a good thing. And by the way, if you're so concerned with being addicted to the internet, you should calm down. Because this box doesn't control my life. Yes, I like it. Yes, I like social media. Yes, it's my favorite thing. But if I wasn't addicted to the internet, can you imagine what else I would be addicted to? I mean, I could have went off and had a baby, or I could be off addicted to drugs and pot. I mean, I could be popping pills every day. You know, I could be doing dangerous stuff. But instead, I'm sitting here watching people that inspire me to dream big and to be more creative and to have a voice in what I do and say and to be myself, to just be who I am. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't necessarily think I need to take a step back from it. Unless you get so consumed with it that it begins to overtake your life, then yes, please take a step back from it. But if it's just something for fun, then I think it's okay. It's my way to see if that's done, but I'm not. So it's my way to veg out and to, like if I'm stressed, if I'm having a bad day, I can get on the internet and see funny things that have happened throughout the day, or I can see a tweet that Kelsey sent me, or a message on Tumblr that Tamala sent me, or something that happened a year ago that Carlene sends me to remind me, and it brightens and livens up my day. I like to keep up with my friends through Tumblr and Twitter and Facebook, and I like to know what people are doing, and I love it. And I don't necessarily think that being quote-unquote addicted to the internet is such a bad thing. So, yeah. I don't know. I guess that's really all I have to say, but I am who I am. The problem with me is I'm brutally honest, and I have one rule that I won't tell you anything unless you ask me, and then if you ask me, be prepared for me to be brutally honest with you about it. That's why sometimes when people ask me a question, I always like to respond, "Are you sure you want my answer?" They're like, "Yeah, tell me. Come on, tell me what it is." And I'm like, "Are you sure you want to know? Do you really want me to tell you?" And when they say yes, and then I tell them, then they get butthurt. Well, you know what? I'm sorry that you're hurt, but I don't know how to do anything lightly. I'm very brutal. So, sorry about it. That's just who I am. But yeah. I've probably rambled on and on in this. This is probably like forever and a day long. That was not my intent. But I just wanted to say that I love each and every one of you. And if you've made it all the way to the end of this video, congratulations. Because I probably would have clicked off within the first couple of minutes. Because sometimes, well, me being me is not always fun. But yeah, so I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, then make sure to give it a ray. We like when our videos shine brighter. Make sure to hit that red subscribe button, because more subscribers is always better. And yeah, I guess on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to go. Adieu.